Hi, welcome again to another lesson with Miss Dolor. Welcome to my math class. So this is a follow-up lesson about decimal fractions and percent because some fractions are, just hard to convert right away into percent into decimal. So there's a one step before you just convert it right away into percent into decimal. So this worksheets is available on this video. Just look at the description. There's a link to download this worksheet so that you can follow with me. I also recommend that you have a highlighter, you have a nice pencil with sharpener, with eraser also. It's sharpened pencil with eraser. So hopefully you have those materials ready on you. So go ahead, let's start these worksheets. So as you can see here on the fraction, it's given here on the first example, and we don't know right away that fraction in decimals, right? Because there's a step how to do this. So go ahead, 3/5, you can write down here 3/5. Alright, I think I need to make my a little bit bigger because okay, so let me erase that one. It's just not nice. So I have 3/5 here, right? And I will always make this 100. Okay. So on the previous worksheets that we created, like how many 5s are in 100, how many 20 in 100, how many 2s in 100. So you can look on that worksheets and go ahead answer me this question. How many 5s are there in 100? Yes, you are correct. There are 25s in 100. So therefore, you have 20 here. Whatever you have 20 at the bottom, you also multiply on the top, which is 20, right? So therefore, we have now 3 times 20. How many is that? That's 60, right? So now 60 over 100. Obviously, we know that. That's going to be what? 0.60 or 60 hundredths, right? So go ahead, I'm going to write down that decimals here. So 0.60, right? And 0.60 is equivalent to what? 60%, right? So remember DP, your decimal to percent to decimal. You're going to move the decimal to the right. So 1, 2 here. 1, 2. Okay, then you just convert the decimal into or replace the decimal into percent symbol. Of course, since you know already that there are 60 out of 100 or for 3/5, you're going to just shade this 60. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. Okay? So that's how you're going to answer this first example. Alright, let's now move to the next one. So this one is a little bit different because there's a whole number beside the fraction. So write down here 1 and we have 1/2, right? So I have here 100 again. How many 2's are in 100? Awesome. You said there are 50, right? 50 2's in 100. So times 50 times 50. Then 1 times 50 is 50. So you're saying here this is 50 100. So since we have 1 here or 1 here, right? So it's going to be 1 and 50 hundredths. Okay? So we're going to write down that decimals here, 1 and 50 hundredths. Again, with the Dr. Pepper method, right? Decimal to percent to the right, decimal to percent. So move here 1, 2. So you're going to have 150% for 1 and 100. Okay, so for our shading, we just need to shade one hole, right? And 50, then 20, 30, 40, and 50. Okay, so one hole and 50 out of 100. Okay, so that is a good, introduction for this kind of concept. It's pretty much the same, but we have like one step added. Okay, so let's now do the third one. So we have 2 and 4 over 20. Again, we have here 100. How many 20s in 100? Awesome job. That's 5 times 5 here, and also times what? 5 here. So therefore, that's what? 4 times 20, 4 times 5 is 20. So therefore, that's now 2 holes and 20 hundredths. Okay? So I will write down here 2 holes and 20 hundredths. And again, for our Dr. Pepper to the right, 1, 2. So I'll move here, 1, 2. So therefore, that's 220%. Okay, so I'm going to shade this one 2 holes, right? 2 holes, and I have 20%. Then 20. Whoops, it's not a good shading, so I'll repeat that. So 10 and 20. Awesome. So we represented well the fraction, which is not really a nice fraction or unfriendly fraction. We converted this step, right? We created the decimal, we write the percent, and we know how to model it and shading this on the per 100 cubes. Okay, so go ahead, you can pause this video so that you can try on your own the 2 pages that I've created for you, then or the 3 more pages that I have created for you. Then once you're done, you can continue watching and compare your answer to my work. All right, go ahead, pause this video. All right, welcome to this activity. We're going to continue this one. So I hope you finished your um, worksheets, the three more pages. We're going to compare your work to my work if you're doing it right. So we have now 1/4 here. We have 100. So you have now here times how many 4 in 100? Awesome. There are 25, right? So times 25 times 25. So therefore that's 25 over 100. That's 0.25. Okay. So this will become as our decimal answer, 25 hundredths. We're going to shade this one like 10, 20, and I have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 25 hundredths in percent is just simply as 25%. Okay, check your work if it is the same. Okay, we have now here as 2 and 3/5. Okay, so we have 2 and 3/5. We have 100 here. How many 5 in 100 times what? Awesome, times 20. We also have times 20. 3 times 20 is 60. So therefore, this is now 2 and 60 hundredths, right? So 2 holes and 60. So I'm going to shade this one as 2 holes. Okay, 2 holes and 60. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Oops, that's not the right way how to shade it. Let me redo that. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. Awesome. So to convert 2 and 60 hundredths to percent, you just move the decimal to the right twice. That is be equal to 260%. Okay? Okay, next we have now 7 over 25. 100% here. How many 25 are in 100? Or a quarter in 100? 4. Awesome. Times 4 times 4. 4 times 7 is 28. So therefore, that's now what? 0.28. So what we're going to do is right here in the decimal, 0.28, and move to the right twice, it's 28%. So therefore, I need to just shade 28 here. 10, 20, and 8. Okay, oops. It's just hard because my pen marker here is not like pointed so much, so I just have to shade. Okay, so that's 28. Okay. Question so far? You're doing awesome on your paper. Okay. Let's have now here another example. So we have 8 over 50. Right away 100. How many 50s are in 100? Times 2. Okay, times 2 for 8. So therefore 16. 16 out of 100. So 0.60. So this 16 out of 100 is written as 16 hundredths. So that's in decimal. Okay. So 16 hundredths means we're going to color 16 here. So 10 all the way to 4. Okay, so that's 16. Therefore, if we move our decimal places to the right to make it a percent, so we have 1, 2, right? Therefore, we have this as 16%. Okay? So 8 over 50 is equals to 16 hundredths or 16%. Okay, next we have now our fraction is 1 and 4 over 25. So we're going to write down here 1 and 4 over 25. So we have here 100 right away. How many 25 are in 100? There are 4. It's like how many quarter in 100? Again, it's 4. So we have 4 here times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. So this will become 16 hundredths, right? But we have 1 here, so therefore we add the 1 whole. So 1 whole and 16 hundredths. Okay? So that's going to be on, oops, this is not percent. I just noticed that it should be decimal. So that will become 1.16 or 1 and 16 hundredths. Therefore, that's now as a percent. So move to the right twice. Therefore, we have now 116%. Okay. So we're going to change the worksheets we have. It says decimal. Okay, that is correct. So decimal. So I think that's the only one we have. I accidentally put percent. So that should be decimal on the first column to the left side. Alright, so we have now here 2 and 9 over 10s. How many 10s in the hundreds? They're right, there are 10. So times 10. Therefore, we have also what? Times 10. So 9 times 10 is 90. So therefore, we have 2 and 90 hundredths. That will be in decimals. So we move that to the right. So twice, 1, 2, and make it a percent. So therefore, that's now 290%. right? And we're going to shade two holes here. Whoops, two holes, another one hole, and 90. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. Okay? So 2 holes and 90 hundredths. Alright, we're moving to our 1 and 3/5. Okay, so 1 here and 3 over 25th, not 3/5. That's what I meant. So you have now here 100. How many 25s in 100? There are 4. So times 4. So times 4 also. So 4 times 3 is 12. So therefore it's 1 whole and 12 hundredths. So 1 whole and 12 hundredths. Okay. So we're going now to shade 1 whole and 12. So 10 and 12. Okay. So we're going now to convert that into percent. Move the decimal to twice to the right. So 1, 2. So we have now here 112%. Okay. So far so good. Okay, we have here the last page. Alright, so what we're going to do here is write this 1 and 8 over 20. Okay, I hope you're looking on the last page of your worksheets. So we have here 100 times how many 20s in 100? That's right, there are 5. So times 5. So times 5 also here. Whatever you multiply at the bottom, what number you multiply at the bottom, you also multiply at the top. I just want to mention, you call that the scale factor. Okay, scale factor. So 8 times 5 is 40. So therefore that's equals to what? 1 whole and 40 hundredths. So I will write here 1 whole and 40%. And I will make shading here. That's going to be 1 whole and also 40%. Then, and, okay. So we're going to move to the right twice. So to make it a percent, because Dr. Pepper, right? Decimal to percent, D to P. So twice, 1, 2. Make that a percent symbol. Therefore, that's 140%. Alright. It's getting easier because we've been practicing this for a lot of times on this video. So we have now here 2 wholes and 3 over 25. So we have here 100. How many 4s in 100? Times what? 4 times 4 also here. So 3 times 4 is 12. And I have 2 wholes, so I have 2 wholes and 12 hundredths. So I will transfer that here to decimals, 2 wholes and 12 hundredths. I will now shade 2 wholes, so I need to shade 2, right? And of course 12, so 10 and 12. Oops, that's I shaded more than 2. So I should have 2. Oops, a little bit. Okay. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to shade on this, but that's what I meant. It should be 2, not more than 2. Okay. If you have a pointed marker or highlighter, that will be awesome. Okay. So when we move the decimal point to the right, 1, 2. So make a symbol, 212%. So therefore, if I'm gonna write down here, this will become 212%. Okay, easy peasy. And the last one, we have now 3 and 4 over 20. Of course, this is always 100. How many 100 into decimal? How many 20s are in 100? Okay, it's 5. Therefore, multiply this by 5 also. So 4 times 5 is 4 times 5 is 20. So I have now 3 here as a whole. So 3 wholes and 20 over 100. So I will write here as a decimal 3 over 20, right? 3.20. Therefore, I'm going to shade 3 holes here. 1, 2, and 3. Then 20 here. So 10 and 20. Alright, so move the decimal to the right to convert it into percent. So I moved here twice, 1, 2. So I have now percent here, right? So therefore I have 320%. So there you go. We finished all of the practice questions that we have here in this worksheet, right? So you know now how to convert the fraction, this kind of fraction, to percent into decimal. You know how to model it, and therefore a percent. Alright, thank you for learning with me. I'm excited that you are mastering this concept. I'll hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.